Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope I was doing well this so far. Happy hump day. It looks like severe weather is on the return as we have a slight risk today from the Dakotas all the way down into Nebraska, and parts of Iowa and Minnesota are included in this as well. On good old Thursday, there's another chance for severe weather, an even greater chance as we have an enhanced risk issued from Wisconsin down into northern Indiana. Slight risk, of course, extends all the way down into Missouri and parts of Kentucky. And good old Friday. Y'all are enjoying your Friday. It's going to be very stormy though, as there's an enhanced risk up here in Wisconsin and a slight risk which extends all the way down into Indiana and parts of Ohio. But wait, there's even more severe weather as we have a 15% chance issued on Sunday and on Monday. But of course, I will save the timing and threats for severe weather for X and Facebook, as we actually don't know what the timing or severe weather threats will be. I'm expecting all hazards though, so prepare for that. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, of course. But I will post this on what's called the Weather Chronicle on X and Facebook. It's a newspaper article I'm doing, which breaks down the weather across the country, gives y'all the forecast for sporting events, if y'all are heading out to any sporting events, and I give y'all my predictions on who will win, give y'all a look back at some significant weather events and wartime weather history as well, and even more. So make sure you go follow those pages as I'll keep y'all informed on there, and hopefully y'all been enjoying that here lately. It's something different I'm doing. Let me know what y'all think. Now, as far as the threats for severe weather for the next couple of days, we do know what this is going to be, as there is a pretty good chance for hail today and tornadoes. And even though if you're under the low end threat for tornadoes, you can still get in on a pretty significant tornado, so please don't be too caught off guard. And high winds, pretty typical 15% chance issued, so it could be some power outages tonight as well. But the main story is going to be tomorrow. All significant hazards are going to be possible with a 30% chance for large hail, so could be some Donkey Kong size hail tomorrow in this area. And I wouldn't be surprised if they extend the enhanced risk further south down into Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky. But as of now, enhanced risk is issued within this red area here. Tornadoes, pretty significant chance for that as well. And high winds, so it could be some power outages again tomorrow. And of course, we don't know what the main threats are going to be on Friday, Sunday, Monday. But of course, I'll keep y'all posted on that. Now let's go ahead and get into the timing of when y'all could expect the worst of the severe weather. And we'll take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. It's one of the highest resolution models we can go with. It's not perfect, but it's something we can go off of. Keep in mind the timing is right here, and we'll also get into the parameters of what y'all could expect as well. Now, I would expect the timing of the worst of severe weather to occur during the overnight hours tonight, from right around, I would say, 7 o'clock Central Time through right around 1 o'clock in the morning before it turns into a big old flash flooding event. Why am I saying this? Well, we take a look at the tornado parameters. It shows us where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at. And I don't mean a tornado is going to happen within this whole entire area. This is just an example. But we push this forward, we can see it right around, I would say, 7 o'clock Central Time. Within the 5% chance for tornadoes, we can see there's a pretty good chance of seeing a tornado or two. And we can see the tornado parameters are all maxed out. Y'all can see here in the bright pink. This don't really mean much. What I'm meaning by this is if there's nothing interacting with that favorable environment, not going to be anything happening, of course. We can see that there is going to be some storms interacting with that favorable environment right around 7 o'clock Central. So make sure it's going to be an overnight event. So make sure to have those alerts set to loud, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, have something wake you up, and know your safety action plan. Basement, closet, interior room away from windows. If you're in the most interior room of the house, be just fine. And as far as the winds go, could be some power outages tonight. Take a look at the wind gusts. I would expect upwards of, I would say, 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So definitely going to be some power outages and some pretty large hail as well. So put up anything you don't want damage from large hail and blowing around from high winds. And watch out for a tornado or two tonight. Have those alerts set just fine. And as far as on Thursday goes, it's going to be a bigger day, but of course there can still be some fail modes, so please don't be too scared, but be prepared. So we can see on Thursday could be a QLCS squall line, basically a whole bunch of embedded supercells within a line is basically what it is. Could be a late evening into overnight event again tomorrow. Doesn't show up too great on the NAM, but of course I'll be posting more on this tomorrow to let y'all know the exact timing and all that. And we can see the significant tornado parameters for tomorrow. Gonna be maxed out here in south central Indiana. That's why I'm saying the enhanced risk could be pushed further towards the south. Of course, within the enhanced risk area, there is a pretty good chance for that as well, right around, I would say, 7 o'clock Central Time. And in Indiana, I would expect it to be a late evening and overnight event over there. So again, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. As far as winds go, not as great of a chance for high winds as today, but I would still expect upwards of right around 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, especially as this line pushes through. So definitely could be some power outages tomorrow night. So again, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And let's take a sneak peek at Friday's timing while we're at it. There is a slight risk over this same area with an enhanced risk up here by Wisconsin. I would expect this to be a early evening into possibly overnight event. Could be some embedded supercells down here in Missouri, Kentucky, and parts of Indiana as well. So again, I know I keep repeating myself, but prepare for the worst and hope for the best. If you do that, be just fine. Have those alerts set and you know where to go. Be just fine. You have nothing to worry about. So now that we know all that, basically going to be a late evening and overnight event for the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and get into what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. We have to take a look at the GFS for this. Keep in mind, anything over a week out is virtually impossible to forecast, so please take this forecast with a grain of salt. Now, we already know about the severe weather for the next few days, late evening and overnight event. And it's looking like there could be some snow up there in the Mountain West, so get out there and enjoy any ski resorts if any are open. And it's looking like that severe is going to be getting out of here by Saturday. And it's looking like the Northeast and West Coast could be very soggy this weekend, so make those weekend plans accordingly, of course. And very snowy up here in the Mountain West, so if you have any ski resorts open out there, it'd be a good time to go out there and enjoy those if you're a snow lover. And more severe weather and flooding potential as we head into early next week, of course, like I mentioned earlier. And it's looking like we're going to be coming back into a very soggy pattern as we head into the 21st and 22nd time frame, as the Climate Protection Center has already issued a slight risk for heavy precipitation within this area right here in the Northeast and parts of the Ohio Valley. I would expect right around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall as we head into right around the 22nd time frame. So going to be even more rainfall after coming in on such a quiet weather pattern. It was well needed, but it's looking like heavy precipitation is going to start to return, unfortunately. Also, be aware of this if you live in a low-lying area, and of course, see a flooded roadway, turn around and don't drown. And it's looking like it's going to start to dry out in the Mountain West, especially in the Southwest, where the drought's just continuing to get worse down there. And it's looking like down by Florida, it's going to dry out down there as well after y'all caught in on a record amount of rainfall in Miami. It's looking like it's going to dry out down there, unfortunately, and it's not enough rain to be a drought buster or anything. So we take a look at the drought map, we can see the Southwest dealing with significant drought down there. It's not going to be getting better anytime soon. And the record amount of rainfall down in Florida, not going to amount to much as far as the drought goes, because it looks like much of the state is in some sort of significant drought. So unfortunately, it's not going to be getting any better down there anytime soon, but we are coming up on hurricane season, y'all. Hurricane season starts on June 1st, and we'll have a hurricane outlook video up very soon. I'm thinking about May 18th. I know I said it would be towards the end of the month, right around the 29th, but I think I'm going to push that up a little bit because I'm waiting on NOAA to update their outlook so I can give y'all the most accurate forecast I can. And we can see here as we move past the 22nd, looking like could be still remaining in a soggy pattern in the Northeast and central part of the country, and drying out a little bit here in the Midwest, but expect heavy precipitation all the way out into the end of the month. And as we take a look at the experts at the Climate Prediction Center for the next 6 to 10 days, much of the country is heading into above average precipitation, unless you live out here by Nevada and California and by Florida. Heading to the end of the month, it's looking like much of the Mountain West is going to be drying out. Not good for the drought conditions in the Southwest. Florida's still going to be dry, but the rest of the country is looking to be near normal or above average. I know I didn't really talk much about Alaska and Hawaii, but it's going to be pretty wet in those areas. So unfortunately, it's looking like the end of the month is going to be very wet for much of the country, unless you live in the Southwest and by Florida. Now, enough of the precipitation. Let's go ahead and get into what the temperatures are going to be looking like. I know down by Texas, y'all been hearing about a record heat wave coming up here soon. Y'all been dealing with some significant heat, and y'all should be pretty used to it. I mean, it's Texas. Always hot down there, it seems like. And of course, the Mountain West is going to be very chilly out there. Could be some snow up in the higher elevations. Get out there and enjoy the ski resorts if any are open. And it's looking like it's going to be very, very hot today. And cooling down a little bit because we got some severe weather up here in the Dakotas. And it's looking like it's going to drop those temperatures down as this low pressure moves through, bringing severe weather to the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley, but remaining very hot down here in Texas. A little bit chilly, but I would expect above normal temperatures to be in store up in the Northwest. But I'm expecting the end of the month to be a little bit cooler than normal here in the northern half of the country. and very, very hot here in the southern half. We're going to be coming in on record-breaking temperatures in southern Texas. But I mean, it's Texas, y'all. Y'all should be used to 100-degree temperatures, as it seems like it's 100 degrees year-round down there. But we can see, as I was talking about earlier, we're coming in on very frigid temperatures here at the end of the month, unfortunately. So I know it's springtime, but winter seems like it don't want to let go. As the good old saying goes, we go from winter to summer. It seems like it's going to be cold, and then it's going to be very, very hot all of a sudden. And the Climate Prediction Center noted this, that southern Texas is going to be coming in on excessive heat from the 21st into the 22nd. So definitely be aware of that down there. Y'all should already be used to that, though. It's the south. It's always hot down there. We can see parts of the southwest in Arizona. It's pretty hot down there as well from the 22nd into the 25th. But, of course, we're coming into late spring, so it's pretty typical. And as we can see here in the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, we can see the southern plains into the deep south. Going to be dealing with well above average temperatures, especially out here in California. But much of the country is going to be coming in on some very chilly temperatures, especially up here in the northeast. Next 8 to 14 days, much of the same story. Southwest, the south into the southeast, going to be well above average. Going to be hot in those places, but going to be cooling down a little bit if you live up here in the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Mid-South, Northeast, and Northwest. It's not going to be feeling like spring, y'all. It's going to be feeling more like winter, as wintertime temperatures don't really want to let go. But we'll be coming back into some very hot temperatures before y'all know it. So basically the end of May is looking to be very, very, very chilly for much of us here in the lower 48. Now, let's go ahead and get into the summary breakdown per region of what y'all could expect, with some fun activities y'all could do based on what the weather will be like. Now in the northeast, expect mild to warm temperatures right around the 60s to 70s is what I would expect. Mostly cloudy with showers and maybe some thunderstorms occurring. May showers, of course, bring more May showers, so your garden will be enjoying that, but your umbrella is going to be getting a workout. Fun activities to do in the northeast: go to some museums, the Modern Art Museum in New York City or Boston's Museum of Fine Arts to avoid the rain. On drier days, go up into the mountains and hike, or hit up some spring festivals in Philadelphia. The Midwest is going to be dealing with typical springtime weather. Going to be all over the place. One week you're dealing with 80-degree temperatures. Severe weather comes, knocks that warm air out, and then you're going to be dealing with 50-degree temperatures. That's what I would expect for the next couple of weeks anyways. So if you don't like the weather, just wait a few minutes. It'll change. Typical Midwest. Fun activities to do. If you're going to be coming in on some storms, go to some museums. They have some museums in Chicago and Cleveland. And picnic up by Lake Michigan if there's no severe weather. And if you're into severe weather, go join a storm chasing tour. Or just watch some storm chasers on TV if you're going to be dealing with some severe weather, like Vince and Brandon and all those guys, and Corey. They're good to watch. Now, the southeast, I would expect it to be warm to hot. 80 to 90 degree temperatures with showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be hotter than a jalapeno's armpit. So make sure you go get you all some tea. Fun activities to do. Kayaking in Florida is a fun thing to do. Or strolling in Savannah's riverfront. You can tour some indoor historic spots like Charleston's Plantation. Or in Atlanta, you got the MLK Center, or even in Gatlinburg, got some good places down there like the Exotic Car Museum, or you can go up to the Smoky Mountains and cool off if you don't like the hot air. And if you come in on some dry activity, then go to Nashville, some outdoor music down there. The Southwest, we already know about this, of course. It's going to be a scorcher down there, over 100 degrees possible down there. So you can fry an egg on the sidewalk, be a good way to have a meal right there. Some fun activities to do: go hike Joshua Tree or Red Rock Canyon at dawn before the sun roasts you. You can lounge at Phoenix Resort pools because it's going to be so hot out. At nighttime, you can go stargazing. In the west, you got the coastal areas. It's going to be mild, 60 to 70 degree temperatures, possible with some clouds. Pack a jacket because the I don't know what to wear kind of season. Fun activities to do: you can walk to Santa Monica or Cannon Beach, sip some wine, Napa Valley wineries, or explore San Francisco if you're brave enough. I wouldn't go in San Francisco nowadays. It's too darn dangerous. And you got the interior and the Rocky Mountains. It's going to be chilly with some snow in the higher elevations, so enjoy some ski resorts if you live in that area, if you like the snow. Of course, snow in May is just nature's way of keeping us guessing. And we got Alaska and Hawaii. I know I didn't mention y'all much, but here's the forecast for y'all. It's going to be cool in the 50s in Alaska, with rain, especially near the coast. Some fun activities y'all can do up there is boat or kayak near Janeau's glaciers, visit Anchorage museums on wet days, and cruise the Kenai Fjord for whales. Hawaii, it's going to be warm, mid-80s with scattered showers. Some fun activities to do in Hawaii: snorkel or surf at Waikiki, hike Manoa Falls, and enjoy Lau and hike Manoa Falls. I know hurricane season's upon us. I know in the Pacific it's a little earlier than the Atlantic. Like I said earlier, I will have a hurricane outlook up pretty soon. I think it's going to be on May 18th, but I'll let y'all know, of course. And as we take a look at the National Hurricane Center to see if there's tropical activity, I wouldn't expect there to be any, but we can see nothing at all out there. There has been some hints that there's been some activity out here just west of Mexico, but again, I wouldn't expect anything between now and the end of the month, but you never know. We're in INSO neutral and could be a very volatile hurricane season. We could be dealing with a significant season or not, but I'll let y'all know, of course, like I said earlier. And we can see a Hawaiian hurricane map here. They don't have it up yet, but expect that to possibly be up tomorrow. And I did forget to mention the birdcast. The birds are still migrating. Over 238 million birds are predicted to move through tonight. Tomorrow night, even more birds, although going to be coming in on severe weather here in the northern plains. And on Friday night, over 267 million birds, a little less, because we got, of course, severe weather rolling through. And these birds are going to be confused because it's going to be getting really, really chilly out here at the end of the month. They'll be wishing they stayed down there in the south, although really choose the lesser of the two evils, because you got the southern plains coming in on 100-degree temperatures and the northern plains coming in on right around 50 degrees. So I guess got to be somewhere in the middle, right? And we can see on this map here, before we get into the weather history, we have an illustration of where the birds migrate to. Of course, after midnight, 600 to almost 700 million birds are migrating towards the north, so they're starting to migrate, y'all. Fill up those bird feeders if you haven't done so already, and those hummingbird feeders as well, and make sure you plant those gardens now, and watch for frost, of course. Now, since we are in mid-May, here's some mid-May fun facts and some interesting folklore y'all most likely did not know. Starting off with some mid-May fun facts with the Maypole Magic. It's not a strip club, y'all. Get your mind out of the gutter. I know y'all. May Day celebrations often extend into mid-May with Maypole dances, where ribbons are woven around a pole to symbolize fertility. Kind of ironic to tie into the strip club thing, but it's not a strip club, y'all. Get your mind out of the gutter again. These dances trace back to pagan rituals and are still held in rural communities, where some towns hosting competitions for the most intricate patterns. Tornado dances. Yeah, they did tornado dances in the 19th century in the Midwest. Communities held what were called tornado dances in mid-May, gathering to pray for protection from spring storms. These events blended Native American and settler traditions, with some dances featuring symbolic circling to mimic storm winds, reflecting frontier resilience. And we have some May basket traditions. A charming mid-May custom involves leaving an anonymous May basket filled with flowers and treats on neighbors' doorsteps. Originating in the 19th century, this tradition persists in small towns, with some communities hosting contests for the prettiest baskets. So there's some fun things y'all can do. And here's some folklore that y'all most likely did not know. A dry May and a leaking June make the farmer whistle a merry tune. Predicts wet Junes after dry Mays. Ideal for crops. Nearcast a clout till May is out. Advises keeping warm until late May or hawthorn blooms. A snowstorm in May is worth a wagon load of hay. Notes late snows benefit for hay fields. These 17th century European sayings adapted in America shaped Benjamin Franklin's almanacs. Now, on to some most significant mid-May weather events. Starting off with the hailstorm in Kansas City on May 17th, 1889. Now we're going to go from the oldest year to the most recent year, so this is going to take a while, so y'all can fast forward this if you want to. But on a warm May afternoon in Kansas City, the sky turned black as a monstrous hailstorm unleashed chaos. Residents screamed for cover as hailstones, some larger than apples, crashed through windows and roofs. Farmer John Ellis watched in horror as his greenhouse shattered, his crops ruined in minutes. By the time the storm passed, the city was a mess of broken glass and stunned livestock, with damages hitting over $150,000, is about $5 million today. The storm smashed 15,000 panes of glass, destroyed greenhouse plants, and killed animals across the city. Locals preserved the massive hailstones in ice houses, showing them off like trophies for weeks. Now in 1896 on May 15th, we had the tornado in Sherman, Texas. In Sherman, Texas on May 15th, it started sunny, but by evening a roaring F5 tornado tore through town. Sarah Thompson clung to her children as their home disintegrated, debris flying like shrapnel. The tornado left 73 dead and entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble, with survivors picking through wreckage under a somber sky. It's still one of Texas's deadliest twisters. The impact of this is it killed 73, injured over 200, and leveled homes, leaving only foundations in some areas. Interesting fact, the tornado hurled a trunk lid 35 miles and a 500-pound stone 250 yards, showing its terrifying strength. Now in 1918 on May 20th, we had the F4 tornado in Cadell, Kansas. The tiny town of Cadell, Kansas faced a chilling deja vu on May 20th, 1918. For the third year in a row, a tornado struck on this same date. As the F4 tornado roared in, farmer Clara Hayes herded her family into the cellar, praying this curse would end. The storm wrecked homes and barns, leaving Cadell reeling from its eerie streak. Impact of this, it caused significant damage, killed 9, injured 65, marking the third consecutive May 20th tornado in Cadell. Interesting fact, tornadoes hit Cadell on May 20th in 1916, 17, and in 1918, fueling local legends about a cursed date. Kind of like when Vince catches his tornado in May. This is his fourth year of catching a tornado in Texas in May. Good for him. Now, in 1951, on May 21st and 22nd, there was a historic flooding event in Hays, Kansas. In Hays, Kansas, the night of May 21st turned apocalyptic when 11 inches of rain fell in just 2 hours. Big Creek overflowed, and student Mary Carter watched as floodwaters swept through Fort Hays State University. Submerging classrooms and dorms, 6 lives were lost, and the city was left underwater, grappling with a soggy recovery. Impact killed over 6 people, devastated the university and city, with 1951 becoming Hayes' wettest year on record, with over 43.34 inches. Interesting fact, the flood's deluge made 1951 the wettest year in Hayes history, a record still unbroken to this day. 1957 on May 20th, we had the F5 tornado in Ruskin Heights, Missouri. Near Kansas City, the Ruskin Heights community was bustling on May 20th until an F5 tornado roared in. Young Betty Wilson's family huddled in their basement as their home was shredded above them. The twister carved a 71-mile path, killing 44 and leaving neighborhoods in ruins forever, changing tornado preparedness in the region. Impact of this, it killed 44, injured over 500, destroyed entire neighborhoods, and spurred better warning systems. Interesting fact, debris was found 165 miles away in Iowa, with some spotted by pilots at 30,000 feet. Next, we have the F2 tornado in South Dakota on May 14th, 1962. On a quiet May 14th day in South Dakota, farmers near White Lake were caught off guard when an F2 tornado spun through. John Larson saw his barn collapse in seconds, splinters flying as the storm tore across fields. Part of a massive tornado outbreak of 188 tornadoes, it left rural families rebuilding amidst a relentless tornado season. Impact destroyed a barn and farmer structures, part of a 42-day tornado streak across the U.S. Interesting fact, this was part of a record-breaking 42-day period with at least one tornado daily in the U.S. Now in 1968, had a tornado outbreak in Iowa. On May 15th in Charles City, Iowa, May 15th brought terror as an F5 tornado ripped through. Teenager Tom Jensen ran for cover as his school was battered with windows exploding. The outbreak with another F5 in Olween killed 18 and left 619 injured, turning Iowa's heartland into a scene of devastation. Impact: 2 F5 tornadoes killed 18, injured 619, and caused $30 million in damage, destroying 337 homes in Charles City alone. Interesting fact, the Charles City tornado was so destructive, it prompted a governor's plea for federal aid. And in 1980, on May 14th, there was a derecho in Kalamazoo, Michigan. A sunny day in Kalamazoo turned chaotic when a derecho's 100-mile-an-hour winds swept through. Shopkeeper Linda Hayes watched her store's windows shattered, as trees toppled onto power lines. The storm left one dead and many injured, with the city buzzing about the rare hurricane-like winds. Impact caused widespread damage to buildings and trees, killed one and injured many. Interesting fact, derechos can rival tornadoes, spreading damage over hundreds of miles in a single storm. Now, the most recent, in 2013, we had an F4 tornado in Granbury, Texas on May 15th. In Granbury, Texas, the evening turned deadly as an EF4 tornado struck. Maria Gomez and her neighbors huddled in a storm shelter as the twister demolished homes. 6 lives were lost, and the town faced a long recovery, part of a fierce multi-state outbreak. Impact killed 6, caused major residential damage, part of a broader Texas-Oklahoma tornado outbreak. Interesting fact, multiple tornadoes hit that day, making it a chaotic start to a historic outbreak week. Now, the last event before we get into some wartime weather history, we had an EF5 tornado in Moore, Oklahoma on May 20th, 2013. On May 20th, in Moore, Oklahoma faced its worst nightmare as an EF5 tornado approached. Teacher Sarah Brooks ushered students to safety as Briarwood Elementary, only to see the school collapse around them. The 17-mile-long twister killed 24 and caused $2 billion in damage, leaving a scarred community. Impact killed 24, injured over 200, destroyed schools and homes with $2 billion in losses. Interesting fact, winds topped 200 miles an hour, making it one of the most powerful tornadoes in recent U.S. history. So there's some significant weather events that have occurred in the past. Now let's go ahead and get into some wartime weather history from the Revolutionary War all the way into World War II. Now, starting off with the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Pines Bridge on May 14, 1781. In Westchester County in New York, Loyalists ambushed Patriots, killing 14. Rainy spring weather, 50 and 60 degree temperatures likely created muddy terrain, slowing cavalry and hindering retreat. Diaries note, wet and changeable conditions contributed to the loss. Some interesting facts here, soldiers used oiled cloaks as early rain gear, but mud-jammed muskets. The rain delayed a Patriot scout's warning, enabling the ambush. Muddy fields yielded a bumper crop as farmers claimed churned soil was fertilized. Next, we have the Civil War, Battle of Jackson on May 14, 1863. A morning cloudburst at 10 a.m. delayed Union forces under USS Grant, turning roads into quagmires. Soldiers waded through knee-deep water yet captured Jackson. Interesting facts. Union troops nicknamed the storm Grant's Bath, joking it washed them before battle. A Confederate cannon stuck in mud was abandoned and later displayed in Jackson. The rain paused the battle, allowing a wounded soldier to write a final letter. Now, another Civil War event here, the Siege of Vicksburg on May 18, 1863. It was hot and humid, which exhausted troops. A soldier's diary noted, "The weather is very hot indeed, with heat stroke impacting morale." Some interesting facts here. Union troops dug trenches at night to avoid heat, creating a maze still visible today. Confederates drank muddy river water, which caused sickness, of course, back in the day. A heat mirage made Union troops appear closer, panicking defenders briefly. Now, from the Civil War into World War I, we have the Second Battle of Bullecourt on May 3rd, all the way into the 17th. This was a long battle. Clear skies on May 3rd, right around 50 degrees, aided Allied artillery, unlike April's sleet. By mid-May, milder weather improved visibility, though muddy trenches slowed tanks. Interesting facts here. Clear skies allowed aerial photos of German trenches guiding artillery. Australian soldiers dried uniforms in the mild weather, boosting morale. A tank stuck in April mud was freed in May's drier conditions, joining the FIG. World War II, we have the Battle of France on May 14th all the way into the 21st of 1940. German forces captured Boulogne on May 18th, Calais on May 19th, and Arras on May 21st. Clear skies and mild weather, 60 degrees, enabled Luftwaffe, air support, and fast tank movements, speeding the Allied retreat to Dunkirk. Interesting facts. German pilots used clear skies to precision bomb Allied convoys. A French farmer's diary noted, "The perfect spring aided enemy tanks. Mild weather let German troops sleep in fields, speeding their advance." So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. So basically what I would expect for the next couple of weeks is it's going to be very, very stormy. The Midwest is going to be bracing for tornadoes. The Southeast faces storms, and the Northeast is going to be seeing showers. The Southwest is going to be sizzling in the heat, and the West Coast is going to be both sunny, rainy, and even snowy. And to recap history, in 1896, Sherman F5 tornadoes shredded towns. 1951, haze floods turned streets into rivers. During wartime, rain sank Patriots in 1781, the heat hit Vicksburg in 1863, and clear skies fueled Germany's 1940 Blitz. Folklore says near cast a clout till May is out, and tornado dances parade storms away. So make sure to subscribe. Stay storm ready, y'all. Hurricane season's right around the corner, so. And hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and share button, and make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss a forecast, because at Here One's Weather we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better, more informative content in the future. So enjoy the weather, y'all. It's going to be volatile weather pattern by the end of the month, but get out there and enjoy it, y'all. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Until next time, never stop forecasting.